Hi everybody, and welcome to Self-Love Sundays. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to enjoy the final days of summer by coming out into nature. I mean, the weather is just unbelievable today. So I thought we'd come out and enjoy this and also work with some earth energy. I'm going to be talking about a couple of really important things today that I want to share with you, and we're going to be doing a practice that's going to help us detox the body from all of that heavy emotional stuff that we're going through. So let's get started. One of the things that I really wanted to discuss today was a kind of overview of why we're doing what we're doing right now. What does it mean to heal the body and leave the reincarnation cycle? I talk a lot about leaving the reincarnation cycle, and I want to just go through this process of the importance of being aware of that so that we understand how to move through all of those heavy karmic programs that we're struggling with a lot of the times. So let's just take it back to how we're dealing with consciousness in this realm, in this physical realm. As you know, we are multidimensional beings, and when we come into this planet Earth, me and you here in this physical form, we are merely a projection of this infinite consciousness. So I want you to visualize Source, and from Source is kind of the higher soul, and as it basically fragments when it goes through the different dimensions, this soul then projects, when it reaches the three-dimensional plane, the physical body. And the physical body, as you know, is holding on to all of the mechanisms that we need to function in this realm, the physical realm. But what rules this physical realm is the sensory body, the emotions, all of the things that we are feeling here. And so what's really incredibly beautiful about this structure is that the more that you understand the function of your physical body and the role that it plays in this dimension, you're going to understand how to quickly move past blockages and emotional things that don't serve you in some way. So how do we do that? When the human body, when that higher soul projects into the physical body, then that information is so massive. We are a fractal of infinite source. So that information is so massive that as it goes down, fragmenting through the dimensions, certain aspects of that information is highlighted in a sense based on its vibrational frequency. So the human body is the projection of that fragmented information, which is then organized in a very beautiful way. You have your 7 main chakras, and we have 13 chakras that are the main energetic structure of the multidimensional body. So it's important for us to learn how to utilize each one of those layers so we understand how we're holding on to stagnant energy, how we're holding on to information, and how programs are stuck, and why, when we don't process them properly, they keep coming up over and over again. So this is a really important thing for you to understand, for all of you that are looking to heal, that are looking to understand the mechanism behind how all of these spiritual concepts are actually functioning on the physical and emotional and mental and multidimensional level. For me, I really need to be able to see how things function on the back end, and it was that inquiry that really led me down this path of trying to understand the function of these things. So I hope that this assists you in your work, in your meditation, so you understand the importance of doing daily meditation or running energy or working and being conscious of those emotions all the time. Because it's not just emotions, it's not just little events, it's not just little things that occur in our lifetime. These are projections that we're projecting into our reality based on a very complex funneling of information that we are as a result of lifetimes. And when I say lifetimes, I'm talking about multiple aspects of yourself that are present and functioning here and now. Okay, so it's a complex thing, but I'm going to explain it right now, how that works. Ice cream man, great. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. Maybe we should wait for them to leave. I hope you guys have had an incredible week. I'm just gonna wait 1 minute. Let's take this moment to take a nice deep breath. Perfect. So let's take a look at this. When this infinite consciousness is then coming through the different dimensions and the higher soul projects into the three-dimensional plane, it fragments into 7 layers. The first 3 layers are what connect you to the physical plane. The root chakra, which is your ability to feel safe, feel at home, feel grounded. The sacral chakra, which is the sexual energy that's giving and receiving, your exchange. How are you interacting with other things around you? And so as you can see, each one of these sections are holding tremendous amount of programs that we have received in our society, through our parents, and of course through your own experiences. So the solar plexus is the emotional body. So all of these very important sections are the ones that run our perception in this multidimensional reality. So we would then be able to, we would have to learn what information is stored within these first 3 chakras in order to understand what we're projecting into our reality. We go to the heart chakra, that's the center of connection, unconditional love, your ability to feel worthy, your identity, how you see yourself, your throat, your communication. The throat chakra is also when we're starting at the heart, the throat, and the third eye. It's when we start to enter the higher realms of the physical body. Okay, so the throat is the most important aspect of the throat is that it's the balance of the divine feminine and masculine. All of the programs that are based on the feminine and masculine and how we interact with those 2 energies. This is incredibly important because your understanding of those 2 energies will define how you're experiencing and perceiving the world around you, because everything is holding this dualistic energy within it. Everything, absolutely everything. So let's go up to the third eye. The third eye is your intuitive self. How are you intuiting? How are you connecting and communicating with the physical body? So what happens when this information is then within the body? How do we disconnect from the imbalanced aspects of the chakra? What happens to the chakra system when we're out of balance is that the chakras will open up, they will be open, they will be out of balance. The correct way of having your chakra is by learning to control the chakra system. Okay, so that's something that we're not really taught, that we need to learn how to control that information. And when I say control, it doesn't mean control the emotions or control the negative aspects of it. It means be aware of how you are utilizing that information and what's being brought up through those centers. So for example, the root chakra, if you are a person that is in a constant state of fear, of anxiety, feeling unsafe, feeling insecure, then most likely, this is one of the chakras that's out of balance. Now, something that's very interesting to note about the chakras is that it's not just one chakra that will be out of balance. We're talking about layers of perception. And depending on where we first took in the program that's causing the trigger, it may reflect in different parts of the body because we're combining different perceptions. So your root chakra might be out of balance, and you might also feel it in the heart center. And that can be for any number of reasons. Your identity was questioned during that experience, you felt unsafe, and so it's going to be a combination. How do we get to know the process of these things? By understanding our emotions. I talk a lot about this, training yourself to understand, to really feel the emotions. And that's something that we need to take the time to assess our day, our last 24 hours, our past week, and understand where we're holding on to the majority of that information. And that's how we can begin to unravel the deeper layers of emotion, of information, and how it's stored within the body. So your body is holding on to imprints, energetic imprints of experiences that you've had throughout your entire life. And when this soul enters into the body, fragmenting, it's also merging with your DNA, with your ancestral, with an ancestral lineage. This ancestral lineage that you are coming into, you are combining and merging yourself to that ancestral lineage based on your vibrational frequency, based on what you are looking to experience as a soul. Okay. Within this construct of the matrix, there is an amount of free will. The free will is that you as consciousness has the ability of experiencing all possibilities. But you only have the ability of experiencing all possibilities if you're aware that you have that ability. If you're not aware of that, you're cycling through the cyclical patterns that you have been cycling through for a long time. And as consciousness, it kind of it just revolves in that space over and over again. So this is why some people refer to the reincarnation trap. Okay, whether it's a trap or not, I feel it's a dramatic word, and my perspective tends to be a little bit more from a larger scale, looking at the overview of consciousness. I think that when we enter into this realm, we all have the choice, the possibility of experiencing as consciousness anything. But if you decide to experience that consciousness through painful aspects, then that's what you're going to be projecting into your reality. When you become aware that those are too painful to stand, and you keep cycling and you keep wondering why there's so much suffering in your life and you're tired of feeling that, then as consciousness you're going to want to look into other possibilities, other ways of doing things that may change that. So that's when things start to change. Okay, and so this consciousness becoming aware of itself is the point where you begin to wake up. You begin to become aware of your possibilities. And it's important to take that point like a seed where you can grow into this consciousness that fully embodies its full awareness, its full free will, if you will. Until we realize, until we recognize that we're cycling through these patterns, you're going to continue to cycle through those patterns. And even though you may feel that your life is not totally out of balance or everything is okay, there will be a certain emotion that will keep coming up. And, you know, it takes a level of consciousness, and the higher soul really wants that movement. It is very aware. So just the fact that your physical body is stuck in the sensory body, you know, it doesn't mean that your higher self is not aware of the evolution that is capable. Why? Because evolution is a natural aspect of this entire multiverse. So we are always going to be evolving. So sooner or later, you will recognize that there needs to be some change, some movement in the way that you're interacting with the world around you. And it's that powerful recognition that change or healing or transformation is available to you that opens an opportunity for you to begin to move the information that you're cycling through in your system. Now, how do we move out of these programs and begin to detach ourselves from the cyclical reincarnation pattern? It's working with that information, working with the programs, acknowledging the programs that keep us stuck in that cyclical pattern so that we can begin to change and shift our perception. A lot of us that have been on this spiritual path for a long time, sometimes we get stuck. We get to a point where we're like, okay, I've read all the books, I've been to all the conferences, I know exactly what to do, but I'm still not feeling that intimate connection with my higher self or with source per se. One of the things that I really notice a lot with my clients is that we've been very heavily programmed, and of course this is because religion, to think that our alignment is external to us, that our awakening means that we need to connect to something higher than us. And that's something that I really want to kind of focus on and just remind you that in reality it's not something that is outside of us. It is actually a part of us. It is us. We are fractals of infinite consciousness. We are fractals of infinite consciousness. And that means that within us is, we are just innately a part of that entire whole. There is no separation. There is nothing outside of you. And a lot of us, because we have been, very heavily programmed within religious programs, and of course, we're living in a society where everything is really heavily fragmented. We tend to feel that as humans, we are truly helpless. We are incapable of coming into that God self, in other words. And this is something that I really would love to have you look inside and kind of define where you have those programs. They can be very subtle. It can be something that for example, you're trying to start a new business, or you're trying to create a new program or something like that, and you feel that you need to set up all these other things in order to do those things. All of these perceptions of limitation are seated at the root, and it's not so much as what you need to do, but it's how you feel when you do them that has to be addressed. It's the emotion. The emotions are the tools. So if we become aware of the emotions that are constantly cycling through us, and we recognize what no longer serves us, we can start to move that stuff. Okay, that's such powerful information. Now, what happens to the human as an organism, as a whole? I like to call the human an organism, because we are in multidimensional beings, and this organism is interrelating with its surroundings at all times. As this human consciousness, when we are not aware of the blockages that are stuck in our body, again, we're cycling through that. So how do we move past this once we recognize those things? As you know, I'm going to focus obviously on having that communication, that dialogue, and the awareness. And I invite you to do this over the, just think about the last 24 hours. Think about the last week. What is the emotion that most came up for you? Okay? The majority of us, we won't recognize this, but if you do a DNA reprogramming, this is something that I focus in. I take you through. I take you past the 24 hours, the past week, the past month, the past year, all the way back to the womb. So you can begin to notice what are the patterns of emotions that we most tend to come into. And for a lot of you, it's going to be something specific. Okay, it's going to be fear. It's going to be maybe anxiety, feeling of loneliness, feeling of not being good enough. I mean, it can be any number of things, but you will notice that there's one specific thing that you are cycling through over and over again. And you're going to trace that all the way back to the womb. This is really, really important, and there's such power in that, because you begin to recognize where the origins of your emotional perceptions have come from. Okay? And when you understand that information, you begin to look at how your perception of the whole reality around you is kind of built from this one emotion that we keep cycling through. We're kind of stuck in that emotion because that's all we know. That's all we become familiar. That's our filter to seeing the world around us. This is something that we have to work on. We have to address. If we don't address this, our spiritual work, our evolution, our enlightenment, our coming into that light body will always get stuck, because sooner or later you're going to come back to that program. Okay? So once you identify that, we want to get to the root of that emotion. At what point did we bring in that program that this emotion and this perception that's the result of that emotion is the ultimate truth? And that's when you want to begin to question, is it true? Is it the ultimate truth? We understand what truth is. Here is my guideline to understanding what truth is. Truth is what we see in nature. It's what works. It's the natural balance, the natural function of things. Okay? Nature works in such a beautiful and yet natural but calculated way. It's perfection. So how does nature always come out so perfectly balanced? It is that integration, that balance of the divine, feminine and masculine, that positive and negative energy that is creation, that's pure creative life force. So when we start to understand that we need to balance that energy in order to create, not just external to us, but within us, that's how we know what is the natural balance of something, what is truth. It is creation, it is that life force that is seeding life around us. And so we see that, we see fractals of that within us, without us, within everything around us, because that is the natural structure of this matrix multiverse. So when we are looking at our emotions, how do we apply that? We take a look at an experience, for example. Let's say, your father, was a wonderful person, but at some point they were very aggressive. And so, when you were a child, there was a certain fear that came up, for example. And just one moment of seeing your father in a tremendous amount of rage caused you a deep, deep-rooted fear. So what happens? What's really important from the age of the womb, from womb until the age of 7, is that we're creating the foundation of our perceptions to everything around us. It is the most important time of our life where we're creating how we're going to feel, how we know what emotions are, we're defining our perception. So anything that occurs between that time will shift and alter how we experience things around us. So if you experienced your father having this rage, this anger, maybe multiple times, your perception, the representation of your father and your mother are the representation of the divine feminine and masculine for you. That's how you're going to define and recognize those two energies in everything. Okay? So if you saw your father behaving in this way, your perception is now that the divine masculine behaves in a certain way. And so now this perception is off. Okay? And so when we are creating this imbalanced perception, that fear is towards the masculine. It's a deep-rooted fear towards the masculine, and this will manifest into a fear of your own masculine aspects of yourself. And this can be for men and women. This is not, both of us have both. So this is the trick. So let's look at that fear that we have within us towards the divine masculine. And now, let's say as a woman, anytime that we interact with the masculine aspect of ourselves, there is a fear. There's an aspect. We can't fully develop. We can't fully express those aspects of ourselves. And so this is where our personalities, our behaviors begin to shift and mold around the fears that we have around these perceptions. So we end up being very out of balance in certain aspects. And these are very little complex things that affect our life on a larger scale. So we need to rebalance that perspective. How do we do that? Let's take the example of the father that was aggressive, and let's take a look at the overview. We expand this image, okay? So what was happening to the father at that moment when they were being this aggressive self? Father is going through a tremendous amount of stress at work, has cyclical patterns of his father beating him up as a child. His perception of the divine masculine is skewed as well, and he lacks the ability to know how to provide a loving, supportive, masculine self for the child. So this cyclical pattern has been going on for centuries down his ancestral lineage. His grandfather, the father before that, the father before that, all the way back to its origin. So what's happening in this ancestral lineage is that it has now been defined by the programs and the cyclical behaviors that have been played out through this family. This is how we end up with a certain vibrational frequency of this ancestral lineage. The vibrational signature is created by the understanding the complete or incomplete perceptions of the whole. The whole is the balance of those two, and the incomplete version is the imbalance of those two. And that will define your vibrational signature. Okay, so everything has a vibrational signature because we are energy. We are an accumulation of vibrations that create something, and each and every one of you have your own vibrational signature. Your vibrational signature is a combination of the ancestral lineage of your father and the ancestral lineage of your mother. So however, whatever it is that you are as a result of that is going to be a union where those two inconsistent programs and vibrations and beliefs meet. However, these two, mother and father, they did not unite just out of luck. Okay, they were attracted to each other because of similar vibrational frequencies. This is how we find our partners. We are attracted to each other based on the information that resonates with us. And for a lot of us, unfortunately, because we haven't been aware of the imbalances within our belief system, we normally attract the ones that are mirroring those imbalances. They trigger within us those imbalances. Okay? And so this is how we continue the cyclical pattern. And this structure of unification of vibrational signatures is not just out of luck. I mean, this is something that is orchestrated on an even higher level. When we were talking about source fragmenting through, let's say, the 13 dimensions of this universe, coming into the higher soul and projecting into the physical human body, which is fragmenting all that information, this human is a result of, when it enters this dimension, it picks up a certain vibrational frequency based on its entire journey as a soul. And as consciousness, it has the opportunity to experience all possibilities. We are, I always love to use the analogy or the example that we are like a spider web. Because a spider web has a center point and it has many other points around it. So the human is that center point. Whatever is in the present moment, whatever is conscious of itself, is going to be the center point of this web. Whatever is conscious is going to be center point. So right now, your human self, is conscious here in this moment. Geraldine, me, myself, I'm conscious in that present moment. When I begin to ask, to trigger, when things trigger certain aspects of myself, then those aspects become awakened, and I am working with that information. And this is how we can work through past life therapy, for example. We are accessing other fragments of ourself that are available to us, and we work with that information. We can transform, heal that information. But what that means is that all of these fragments of yourself are providing information for the present self, you, right here. Because your vibrational signature is a result of all of those perceptions, of all of those aspects of yourself. So all of these aspects are very heavily interlaced. They are connected to other lineages, to other people, to our family. And a lot of the time, what you'll notice is that within your ancestral lineage, you've actually been cycling through this ancestral lineage for a long time. Why? People ask me, why are we cycling through this ancestral lineage for such a long time? Why do we keep seeing the same people over again? It's because of the vibrational signature. It's because of the lessons. We're going to call them lessons right now, but it's the blocked or incomplete perceptions that have not been balanced. And you're matching that energy with those beings. So when you heal, when you start to transform, you change, you move your vibrational frequency, you then transform. And so you have the opportunity of healing your entire ancestral lineage from there, if you understand how to work with that. So why do I talk about this on Self-Love Sunday? Because if you can see, if you understand this, as a human, as a soul, right here, right now, we have a tremendous opportunity to heal, not just ourselves, but to transform our lives completely, our perceptions, how we are experiencing the world, whether through that filter of pain or suffering, or through a filter of compassion, of love, of expansion, of co-creation. We have been very heavily programmed to believe that we are helpless, that we do not have the power of changing our lives, that we're stuck, that we need to be in survival mode. Well, there is nothing further from the truth. You are infinite consciousness, and the moment you realize what that truly means, you have the ability of seeking within you a rebalancing of all the false programs and false perceptions that you have been programmed throughout your entire life. And this has to be supported. Okay, this is a journey. It's a very sensitive journey. It's a journey that will take you down dark places in your life that you have been avoiding to look at for a long time. But you need to go there, because that's where the root cause of everything that's occurring in your life is. So we need to take the time as consciousness. And what is consciousness becoming aware of itself? Infinite source consciousness. What is source? It is unconditional love. Love is the acceptance of all things around us as a part of ourselves. It is one. It is that unity consciousness. You cannot have unity consciousness if you constantly think that you're separate from the things around you. And that goes for everything. So unconditional love means that you unconditionally love yourself, and you unconditionally have the capacity to love everything around you. Not coming from a place of fear. It's the fear, it's the judgment, it's the belief of separation that causes so much suffering and pain in our life. If we shift that belief for just one moment, your perception will completely change. The way that you look at your work, your partners, your children, your family, the events, the traumatic thing, the trauma, the abuse, the pain, the suffering, all of the things that have happened in your life will shift. Okay? And what a powerful thing to see the truth. Because what is untrue is the pain. We think it's true. We believe it's true because we feel pain. But we feel pain because we haven't seen the bigger picture of what's occurring in those events. We're only looking through one filter, and it's the instinctual emotion that came in at that moment based on programs that we were taught. So we need to change the base programs that taught us to behave in those certain ways, that taught us to react in a place of fear, that taught us to react in a way of, survival mode. It's not true that, this is, it's an instinctual aspect from the human, from the animalistic aspect of the human, but we are way more than that. We are beyond that. We must understand that we have the capacity of living in an environment as a multidimensional organism that's not just stuck in the physical things around us. We have to be able to look at the world from a multidimensional viewpoint at this point. And that will help you come in to this higher planes of consciousness. Your 5D, your 6D, all of these ideas that you're moving into new levels of frequency. This is how you do it. You begin to look at things from a much larger perspective, and this is the call to all humanity right now, to move away from just the physical body, the physical self, that very limited feeling of what we should or we think we should have been based on our programming. All of that causes a tremendous amount of imbalance within you, because you know that it's not the whole truth. So for healing, when I'm saying we want to understand the full truth in something, it means that you're looking at all possibilities. So in the scenario I gave you earlier, the father and the son, what does the father need? What is he missing? What happened? If he's a product of his ancestral lineage, then when we understand that and we take that into consideration, then you begin to look at him with different eyes. Okay? He's only playing out what he knows. It doesn't make what he's doing right, but it will allow you to look at him from the shifting point of love instead of fear. Because in that loss, in that moment of craziness that this being is experiencing at that moment, it's a deep moment of separation. You can now see him for truly what he is as a human. And what happens is that it's not for him, it's for you. Because within you now shifts a new way of looking at him. You look at him with more compassion. You look at him for what he truly is. The problem is that we deny truths that are there for us. A lot of us, the ego wants to hold on to that pain because that's all we've ever known, and it becomes our identity. Some of us are even addicted to the pain because it feels good to be in victim mode all the time. And it's not just that, we're in victim mode, all the time, but we need to be able to look outside of ourselves to the bigger picture. What's true? What's really ultimately true? And there are many ways to look at something, so we need to be able to look at multiple aspects of that. So, what do we do now? The child changes their perspective, and now the heaviness, the pain, the suffering, the anger that he once felt towards the father is shifted into a more compassionate perspective. You also identify the surrounding people, the mother, whatever else is involved in that experience. Because you're, as a child especially, you're a sponge. You're a sponge right now too. We are always absorbing everything from around us. But especially as children, we are really absorbing our surroundings so deeply, and it's really creating our belief system. Now, you are also that way. So we need to equip ourselves with tools of awareness to be aware of what we're pulling into our space, what is constantly shifting or triggering those little pain points within us that we're cycling from. So today on Self-Love Sunday, I just want to invite you to take a moment to notice what are your cyclical emotional patterns that you've been having, okay? And invite you to take that trip back to the root. What I do, DNA reprogramming, it's something that everybody can do, everybody should do, to help yourself understand what is happening in your realm, in your healing, where the blockages are, where you're not moving forward. And it's important to have that because you can begin to learn. One of the most powerful things that I've noticed in my healing sessions also recently is that a lot of us, we're so judgmental of ourselves. Gosh, we really hate ourselves. We're so angry at ourselves for not getting it, for not getting it right, for not coming into love better, or reacting better. So we have a lot of anger and resentment. A lot of it goes towards ourselves, but we need to be able to equip ourselves with the tools that we need and understand them to be able to change that. If you don't know the tools, you won't be able to have a shift. You'll still be stuck every time. So that's where compassion begins to come in, okay? And the compassion comes in for yourself, and it begins to come in for others as well. When we begin to see people that, for example, healers that begin to feel like their work or their healing modality is the end all, it's the ultimate truth of everything, and they begin to create separation between other things around them, it causes a tremendous amount of rift in our society. So we have to catch ourselves when we are doing these rifts, these separations, and be advocates for unity consciousness instead of separation. We must be advocates for unity consciousness, and it begins with us, with our mode of judgment towards others, judgment towards ourselves. That's really, really important. So, thank you so much to everybody that joined me today. I want to do a really quick meditation with you. We're just going to do a realignment of the body, of the self, so that I can set you off in an amazing week and invite you to go deeper in your own work as well. So let's begin. We're going to start by inhaling deeply and exhaling. You're going to gently allow your pupils to gently go up towards the center of your forehead. And I want you to come into an awareness of your body and the space that you're in right now. You're going to create a cord, a connection that is connected to underneath the breast line, the waist, the hips, the pelvic bone, going all the way down to the center of the earth, and you're going to anchor yourself. You're going to inhale deeply and exhale. You're going to visualize a sphere around you that allows you to become aware of your boundaries, that allows you to become aware of your energetic space. So go ahead and visualize that bubble all around you, and you can make your bubble out of anything that feels real to you. It could be diamonds, it could be wood, it could be cement, whatever feels impenetrable. This is a tool that you can utilize to be aware of what belongs to you, so your perceptions, your beliefs, and what is outside of you that is trying to trigger or influence those beliefs. So always being aware of the interaction with yourself and the external world. We're going to jump right in. You're going to go to the root chakra. I want you to close that root chakra back into a balanced state. Close it like the aperture of a camera. You're just closing it. You're shrinking it down. You're disconnecting any imbalances from that root chakra. Go ahead and close that root chakra. That's the red light at the base of your spine. You're going to go up to the sacral chakra, the orange light. Go ahead and shrink it down to the size of a dime, disconnecting any imbalances of the sacral chakra. You're going to go up to the solar plexus, the yellow chakra at the center core. This is the emotional body. Go ahead and visualize closing that chakra all the way down to the size of a dime, disconnecting any imbalances from the emotional body. And what you're going to begin to feel is a really calm, steady self. It's almost as if static has stopped. Okay, this is how we begin to control. Anytime you come into a state of anxiety, stress, you close your chakras, you disconnect from the physical plane, from the stimulation around you, and you center yourself. You go up to the heart chakra. I want you to visualize opening that heart chakra as wide as possible, visualizing a green light emitting from the center of your chest, front and back. The chakras are like discs. There's a front and a back. It's feminine and masculine energy, as in everything. So we have to be aware that these two aspects of the chakras have to be controlled and managed as well. You're going to go up to the throat chakra. Go ahead and visualize opening that chakra as wide as possible, front and back. You're going to go up to the third eye. Go ahead and visualize opening that chakra, front and back. And so now you're going to feel a more opening, more expansive state around you. You're going to go up to your crown chakra. So this is the center of manifestation. This is where we are projecting into reality. And if we don't know how to utilize that crown chakra, then we are creating from all the stagnant information in the human organism. Everything that we haven't flushed out of the body, we're projecting from the crown into reality. So we got to shift that. So I want you to close your eyes. Oh, your eyes are already closed. I want you to see a color that represents your highest vibrational signature. The first color that comes to mind, what color is that? Okay, you can go ahead and put that into your crown chakra. You're going to trust your intuition. Your body is speaking to you. We just have to learn how to listen. Let's go ahead and put that color into your crown chakra, almost as if you are filling a flower or changing the colors of a petal, or you can visualize a wheel that you are turning on with that color. You're going to inhale deeply and exhale. Color gold for crown. Fantastic. So now that you have entered this into your crown chakra, this tool is one of the most powerful tools that you're going to use and learn about the technology of your body. When we are utilizing our highest vibrational frequency, this can be used to identify what is true, what is not, what is deceptive, what belongs in our space, what does not, what is toxic, what is positive for us. We can destroy karmic contracts with this frequency. You can heal your body with this frequency. This vibrational frequency is what your organism is requiring at this time in order to move as a spirit, as a soul, through its evolution, through its spiritual work. So now that you have this golden light, I want you to visualize a room. Go ahead and visualize a room. And this room is going to be your karmic contract room. Okay? We're just going to visualize and imagine a room, and it's going to be filled, it's going to be packed with karmic contracts. So all of the karma, this is the result of all of the things that we have been experiencing in our ancestral lineage and in our lives since birth, is there. And it's written in, we're using the visual of contracts. So go ahead and look at them. Okay? You're going to see them piled up. Maybe they're in the library. Maybe they're just stacked up. I want you to shine your crown chakra with your color. And I want you to destroy and clean out that room. I want you to destroy all of those karmic contracts. Go ahead and visualize burning them up, tearing them up into pieces, setting a bomb and allowing that whole room to blow up. Whatever feels real for you, you're going to destroy and detach yourself from those karmic contracts. You're using imagination and visuals, but what matters is your intention. You are working on a much deeper level right now, and you're using this very simple image to destroy the karmic programs that you're cycling from, that your subconscious mind reaches for in order to react to things, to behave throughout your day. So we're going to change that. We're going to shift that. You're going to eliminate those contracts. And it doesn't mean your work is done. It means it's just started. So as you clear out that room, you're now going to see an empty room. And I want you to fill that room with your crown chakra color. So the color that you put here in your crown, you're going to fill that room. If there are no more walls to that room, I want you to fill that space or create walls out of the color of your vibrational frequency. And what you're doing here is you are replacing the intention of those lessons, because you cleared out those karmic contracts, but as an organism, they're still set in the root of your programming until you address it the way I explained previously. So what we're doing is we're shifting slowly, gently, how we're going to be experiencing today. You're going to replace that space with your color. And what this is going to do for you on a daily basis is transform how you see, how you experience, how you perceive the world around you. You are no longer going to experience your day through pain and suffering. You're going to be experiencing your day through love and compassion and awareness. Okay, because you understand how these things function. Go ahead and inhale deeply and exhale. You'll more than likely you're going to feel a weight is lifted off. It feels more relieved. Just notice, just aware, become aware of what you're feeling. Okay, as you have eliminated that completely, I want you to visualize that your bubble is filled with water, and this water represents all of the anxiety, stress, all the stressing things that have occurred over the past week, over the past month, everything that you're holding on to. Anger, fear, all that subconscious heaviness that we're maybe playing through that we don't recognize. It's all in our space. So I want you to visualize that you're going to pull a plug, imaginary plug, from the bottom of your bubble, and you're going to allow all of this out of your body. Just let it drain out. Let it empty out of your bubble until your bubble is completely empty and clear. And I want you to inhale deeply and exhale. Having released all of that heaviness from your space, I want you to visualize that you're going to pull up from the center of the earth a powerful wave of green earth energy that's going to come rushing up your legs into the center core, creating a vortex of energy. Okay, go ahead and pull up that green earth energy into the center core. You should feel a rush of warmth. People usually get quite warm. From the universe, from source, I want you to visualize bringing down a powerful wave of gold cosmic energy that's going to come down through the crown of your head, down your spine, combining with that green earth energy at your center core. Inhaling deeply and exhaling. Okay, so now we're moving cosmic energy and mixing it with earth energy. This is an ancient, powerful way, and it's also a very advanced technology, okay, to clear these blockages from the physical body. We're going to run this energy through the 3 dimensions of the body. You're going to visualize from your center core, the combination of green and gold. You're going to send about 10% back down to the center core of the planet, taking some of that cosmic energy and feeding it to the earth, your healing Mother Earth, and all beings, all organisms here on this planet. But this is also functioning like a channel of elimination. Okay, so everything that no longer serves you, primarily from the first 3 chakras, the emotional body, the creative sexual energy, and the root chakra, we are eliminating all of those imbalances out. So you're going to inhale deeply and exhale. You're going to go back to your solar plexus. You're going to pull up that green and gold energy up your spine, and from the crown of your head, you're going to visualize a fountain of this cosmic and earth energy surrounding the outside of your sphere. And what you're cleaning here is you're cleaning the illusion, the matrix, any deception, anything that doesn't serve you, anything that's causing pain, suffering. We eliminate that from our reality, from our perceived reality, from our experiences. You have the power of deciding how you wish to experience your life. The sooner you understand that, the more things will change, the quicker you'll come into your highest vibrational expression. You're going to go back to your solar plexus. You're going to pull up the final 10% of that pure cosmic and earth energy up your spine, and from your arms, you're going to visualize from the palms of your hands filling the inside of your sphere. Okay, you're now feeding cosmic and earth energy to your body. You're going to visualize it's coming in through the pores. You're going to absorb it into the body, the flesh, the muscles, the bones, down to the center core of your body, the cellular level of your body. You're going to inhale deeply, bringing in that very cleansing, powerful energy into the body. You are a multidimensional being. Healing is not just in the mind, it's not in the emotions, it's in the multidimensional aspect of yourself. So your intention speaks to the energetic aspects of yourself that are stuck within your body. So we have to use that intention to move that and only you can do that. Only you can do that. You can go to any number of healers, but if you don't understand the power of your intention and your mastery over your body, nothing will work. It'll keep coming back. So go ahead and visualize that you're allowing your body to heal right now. You're going to pull up that green and gold energy up your spine, up into the pineal gland, where you begin to activate, cleansing, detoxifying. Okay? Inhale deeply and exhale. Now you should feel a rush. Okay, a lot of people are feeling that Kundalini kind of energy. You're going to be feeling that a lot in this kind of meditation because you're moving stagnant energy. Okay? You're moving stagnant energy. So you're going to feel a rush to your head. You're going to feel sometimes lightheaded, hot. It's part of cleansing and moving through energy that doesn't serve you. Okay, change will change everything. It'll change how you feel about you, yourself, how you experience things around you. So just stay for a moment, running the energy through the 3 dimensions of the body. I want you to take a moment and savor this beautiful movement, this cleansing. And I want you to become aware of the major things that have happened this week that have caused you anxiety and stress. And you're going to visualize them like anything. They can be objects, you can visualize them like colors or clouds in your bubble, and you're going to just eliminate them, flush them, utilizing the visualization of this earth and cosmic energy through the body. You're going to push it out. So you're going to inhale deeply and exhale. With every inhale, you're absorbing that energy into the body. With every exhale, you're releasing any of that heaviness from the body. Your breath is incredibly important. It's as important as your intention. Okay? Very good. And so at this point of your meditation, at this exercise, you're going to start feeling a shift. Going to feel like a rushing energy. A lot of times through the spine, through the center core of your body, you start to feel a rush. Okay? So now that you're here, we're going to cleanse and finish our healing with a complete realignment and reconnection to source. We're going to start at the root chakra, the red chakra at the base of your spine. You're going to open that chakra slightly into a state of balance. So before it was like this, we're going to just open it slightly. We're still controlling this space because we don't want it to get out of balance. We want it to be aware of what we're filtering through this space. So you're going to open it about this big, the size of an avocado, you can say, the root chakra. And you're going to spin it as fast as possible. You're going to visualize that this plate of energy is, as it spins, it's allowing all of the dirt. We're going to visualize it full of mud. It's just going to spin off all of that dirt until it's crystalline clear. Crystalline clear. Inhale deeply and exhale. You're going to go up to the sacral chakra, the orange light underneath the navel. Go ahead and visualize opening it back into a balanced state. So you're opening it from closed up to the size of an avocado, and you're going to clean it out. Visualize that mud is spinning off that sacral chakra. Any programs of feeling unworthy, of not being able to give and receive in a balanced state, any kind of feelings of being taken advantage of or not having what is worthy of your time and your energy, sexual traumas, cleaning all of that out. Creation, money energy, money problems, money blockages, clearing all of that out. You're going to go up to your solar plexus, the yellow light. You're going to go ahead and open that chakra back into a balanced state, from closed to open. The emotional body, being always aware of this emotional body. A lot of us, we're living in a state of reaction, constantly just cause and effect, cause and effect. Something happens, we react. We don't take a moment to kind of take a step back and observe things. So balancing and managing and controlling the solar plexus is the key to feeling more empowered, more in control, and observing the anger energy or the fear energy that we're, moving through ourselves. Okay? You're going to go up to the heart chakra, the green light in the center of your chest. Because we opened it so much, we're going to close it just a little bit. Okay? Your vibrational signature depends on how your chakras are being managed. So we don't want to be fully opened all the time. We want to be able to be closing it in a balanced state. So just a little bit, you're going to bring it in. Okay? Spinning it as fast as possible, the same that you did with the solar plexus. You're eliminating any blockage from the heart chakra. So any blockages that hinder our ability to love ourselves, loving yourself, all the programs that don't let you love yourself. Clear all of that junk out. You're going to go up to your throat chakra. You're going to close that chakra back into a balanced state, spinning it as fast as possible, eliminating all the blockages that hinder our ability to communicate, to express, to ask for our needs to be met, to have a balanced perspective of the divine feminine and masculine, and that affects everything in our life. So go ahead and visualize you're eliminating all of those programs. Inhale deeply and exhale. You're going to go up to the third eye. You're going to close it slightly into a balanced state, but we want that to be quite open because we want to be communicating with our multidimensional aspects all the time. We want to be aware of what we're bringing in, what we want, what we don't want. So you're going to spin it as fast as possible, eliminating all the blockages that hinder our fear of the unknown, anything that makes us feel unsafe, the interaction with seeing truth, with the dialogue that we have with our intuition. A lot of the blockage with intuition for some of us has to do with a fear of seeing truth. Okay? Because the intuitive self will always tell you what's true. So check in your life, where are you holding on to this fear of seeing what is ultimately true? You're going to go up to your crown and you have it filled in with your creative color, with your crown chakra. So you're going to spin that as fast as possible. Because this is the center of where consciousness connects with the three-dimensional plane, with the physical body. This is also managing the RNA and the DNA of the body. So I want you to visualize as you spin it, we are removing any programs, any alterations. We are very heavily genetically modified beings. Okay? We're being genetically modified by our food, by the air that we're breathing, unfortunately, by technology, the fact that we have technology, okay, by many things, by our perceptions, by the things that we're hearing on the news, internet. So go ahead and clear all of that out, all of those programs that are untrue. We're going to clear them out of your space. And you're going to go up to your 8th chakra and you're going to turn it on with the same color as your crown. The 9th chakra, turn it on. The 10th chakra, turn it on. And what you're going to begin to feel is a very powerful wave of energy that kind of comes over the body. For a lot of you sensitives, you're going to feel this more than others, but this is something that we can all practice. Okay? As we begin to activate the higher aspects of our body, we're going to feel it. A very huge shift will come over the body. You're going to go up to the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and the 13th. You're going to turn them on above your body. So 13 chakras all the way up to the top, to the 13th chakra, and above you is source. You're going to see a white light. I want you to connect up into that. You're already connected. You're just becoming aware of the connection. And we need that in order to change our present moment. That awareness will change your present moment, because now you're not coming from that instinctual, animalistic programming that's coming from the roots, from the physical plane, the sensory body. You're now coming from a much larger perspective, which is that unity consciousness. Okay? So as you connect up, you're going to inhale deeply and exhale. You are grounded down to the center of the earth. You are protected in your field of light. And you are connected, activated up to the 13th chakra. Okay? This allows you to receive the messages that you need to work on other planes of existence, allows you to begin to train yourself to start doing lucid work in dream time. That's another whole plane of work that we need to be training ourselves to do, but it starts in the waking time. What you're doing here is enabling you to do your work in dream time in other planes of existence. So we got to get the work done as soon as possible. You know, help yourself move through those blockages. Very good. So I want to welcome you all back, and just open your eyes. And as you come back into the room, I want you to continue to see your grounding cord with your eyes open. I want you to see your protection around you with your eyes open. You're going to train yourself to be constantly aware of these tools. You're aware of your protection, you're aware of your grounding, you're aware of your chakras every moment of your day, no matter what you're doing. If you're at the grocery store, if you're walking your dog, if you're at work talking to your coworker, you take a moment to check in with your body, make sure you're grounded, make sure you're aware of your space. This is the level of awareness of the new human. You want to be in 5D. A lot of my clients say, I want to be in 5D. I want to be in the new earth. There's no new earth. You are the new earth. Your ability to be conscious and present in this moment, your awareness, your work on shifting your vibrational frequency, on healing the cyclical patterns that are deep rooted within your DNA, that is the new earth. Because you are a projecting system. If your projecting system is polluted with old programs, ancestral programs that are coming from the origin of this creation of multiverse, this matrix multiverse, we're never going to move through that. Our evolution is constantly moving, but you're going to go through a lot of suffering in order to get to that. So it's your choice. It's your choice. You can decide to help yourself and move through that, or you can continue to feel the earth plane. It's heavy. It's the sensory body. It's in the physical body. That's okay too. It's totally up to you. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I want to send you all my love. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this gorgeous day. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to get a DNA reprogramming with me, I'm really happy to work with you. And I'll see you soon. All my love. Take care. Hi. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Christy. Beth, Bridget Holmes. Pilar. Hi. Brian, Jennifer, Margot, David. Oh, I'm so happy to connect with you guys. Charlotte. That's awesome. Color gold for crown. Yes, put that up there. Manny, Paula, Colin, my dear Colin from London, Marcus Rogenberg, Lisa, Laura, oh my god, so many of you amazing people. I'm so happy to see you guys here. Petwo, hello. Cutting ties, clearing karma. Yes, let's clear and cut those cords. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Chris, Sabrina, Eugene, hi Eugene, Tammy, Alex, Jordan Fuller, hi Jordan. David, so great to see you. Ava, Tom Longo, Beth, my darling Beth, Sandra Harris. Oh, it's so great to see you guys. All right. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you soon.